Another sleepless night.
Okay.
Don't wanna leave the sheets. The world can't wait for a moment. So give me that morning heat. My dreams ain't taking me nowhere. And that fear won't leave you be. So what if we stayed until noon? And dear, give me that morning heat. Just give me that morning heat. 'Cause I don't know of tomorrow, and if we will be without sorrow, but my heart, it feels a little less hollow when you give me that morning heat. Two lives entwined in the covers, words we don't need to speak. And I made sure that I had all that I need, and she gives me a morning heat. 'Cause I don't know of tomorrow, and if we will be without sorrow, but my heart, it feels a little less hollow. Give me that morning heat.
Okay, my van is a total mess, but I thought I would share my current van build, like a little baby van tour, super casual van tour, but this is more for myself just because I have so many renovations on my list, and so I think it'd be really cool to have a little tour of the state of it right now, just to be able to look back on these videos and be like, whoa, I forgot it looked that way. Yeah, I haven't done a formal tour of the van in this state, so not that this is gonna be formal, it's gonna be pretty casual. And my van's also a mess because I'm in the middle of some renovations, but I'll show you guys what I'm planning to change and everything. Okay, so swivel seat, we have a bunch of stuff there. We have the fridge, that's not gonna change. More junk over here. I was just working on that cabinet drawer yesterday, so I had to rip everything out and put it somewhere. Okay, let's see. So the biggest things that I think are gonna change is this whole area all the way back, and then this area all the way back. Basically, if you can see, there's this cloth right here, and this cloth underneath is the airbags. I just covered it up with the tan clothing because the airbags are green orange. So I'm going to rip out the airbags, replace it with these little sensors that you can put in, and it won't like alarm the system that there's no airbags, just the rear airbags, not the front, obviously. That way I have more space to build shelving if I need, which I do need. I need more room. So I think over here, where I have all of this, from here to there, I am going to build some sort of shelving system where I can put food, anything I need. This is probably the saddest section that I am going to give up. Like, it serves no purpose at all, but it's my crystal shrine. And I found all these crystals. It's a little dusty, but I mined all of these crystals myself. And I just think they're so beautiful. And then these brackets I created also. I wire wrapped, and I don't know, I just love this shelf. But I think I'll probably just take this shelf and put it over here or something. So back here, these are my curtains or my window covers that I made myself. They're just like that. I oftentimes take these ones out, but this one I don't take out as much because honestly, it's just hard to take it out. There's so many different things always on the kitchen. So I think that I might insulate it and build some sort of wood paneling, but I don't totally know. I might keep it as it is as well. So that's that. And then in this section, there used to be a little canal. As you can see, it's a little lighter here because I had my Vitamix blender, which broke, so I don't have that anymore. I think what I'm going to create here is some sort of charging station where I can charge my electronics. And then in here, I'm in the middle of building a drawer. That's why this hinges off. So last night, I screwed these in and I ripped the wood to the width so I could create these side panels, and I'll have a drawer come out of this section, which will cause me to lose width and also height, because as you can see, like, I just put that in, which makes me lose width. But I honestly wasn't using the full width or height of this drawer anyways, and it's just super inconvenient to have to bend down and get everything out. For this, it's not as bad because I literally just have this big pile of, oh yeah, I put my screws in here yesterday when I was doing the drawer, but I just have this big thing, and then I have my pots and pans. So it's not that big of a deal up here to not have a drawer, but down here, it is kind of inconvenient to always have to duck down and get a bunch of things. I think it would be much more convenient if I can just open this and pull out a drawer to be able to see everything that's in here.
Inside you, beautiful mess. Get up, get dressed, and see yourself.
Ooh, I love opening these doors. So the other day I installed that water heater, and it is functioning. I do need to install a switch sort of mechanism and system. Here is a water faucet, and this is where I hook up my shower. So I want some sort of valve that is a temperature controlling valve, which means I can change it to the temperature I want to take a shower. And so those are like little things I have to do with the water heater that I still haven't done. But basically this is what it looks like right now. And usually I just have a big black tote right here, and I have my water jug right there. But my plans for this is I want to have a table that comes out and becomes an outdoor table right here, so I can do work. I don't really have a table system inside, so I think it would just be great to have some sort of table system. So to have that table come out, I think will be really nice. And then on top of the table to have just a big drawer that is better for organization, and yeah, it'll just be better. And yeah, I think that's everything in here. So that's what it looks like right now. And here's my van from this view too. I have my sunroof, I have the max air fan, those bungee cords usually hold up my guitar. So yeah, that was a super informal van tour, but I just think it would be so cool to have this on video to be able to see what I want to do and what I actually end up doing. And I just remember having all these plans of how I wanted things to go in my initial van build, and it didn't fully go that way. And I think it's really cool to watch any sort of project evolve and how it evolves in ways that are different than your initial plan. Dami Banak said, do you have any tips on how to get rid of shame and fear of judgment fast? As an introvert, I've been struggling for years to become more open and express myself fully. Well, I don't know about fast, because I do believe that some of the most monumental and profound changes that we're going to endure within ourselves take time. Like, I believe in slow progress. I think you can get a jump start fast. You can realize like, oh, I really like the benefits of this, but for long-term sustainable growth, I really think that it's in small incremental changes, and we need to celebrate those small wins. But in terms of like an actionable way to get rid of shame and fear, I highly recommend Brené Brown. I've read one of her books. I think I read Braving the Wilderness. She has another one named called Daring Greatly, which is on my book list. I definitely want to read it. And she's a researcher, she's a storyteller, and it's all about shame and vulnerability and guilt and all that stuff. And a powerful distinction that she talked about was the difference between shame and guilt, and how guilt is you feeling bad for an action, but realizing that that action doesn't define you, and realizing we're humans and we all make mistakes, whereas shame is feeling bad because you did an action, but now letting that action define you and feeling bad about yourself as a human being and kind of sulking into this negative headspace. And I think as humans, we're always in phases of shame sometimes. If it's become a habitual pattern to step into shame every time you do something wrong, like that's something that you can improve on for sure. I really recommend those books. She also has TED Talks, having an awareness of what shame is and what vulnerability is and why it logically benefits us to take actionable steps to move away from those habit patterns of our minds is so helpful to, like have the initiative to do it, to understand why. I will leave her TED Talk link down below if you're interested in checking her out. And then Lena Cab said, what camera do you use for your videos? So the camera that I shoot all these videos on is the one I'm looking at right now, and it is a Sony Alpha 5100. And then Maddie Cedarholm said, can you do a tattoo tour where you tell us about the meaning behind your tattoos? Okay, that's the last question too. So let's see, I have I'll go in order of when I got the tattoos. So we'll start with my ribcage tattoo. It says Fernweh. It is a German word that means the opposite of homesickness. So it basically just means feeling homesick for a place you've never been to. And I got this after I went to Germany when I was in high school, I think, with my family. I feel like I've always resonated with people like in the travel culture and the yogi culture and the climbing culture and like the outdoor culture. And where I grew up, there wasn't much of that. Like, of course, you can find those cultures kind of anywhere, but I was definitely more in like a conservative city, suburban type area. And so I just didn't feel like I necessarily fit in. And when I went to Germany, that word really resonated with me. So it was the first tattoo I got when I was 18. The next one I got, I just like went all in and I got this big flower. I had just gone through a breakup with my ex. We traveled in a Honda Accord and just went camping at different national parks and really like fell in love and lust and had all these like dreams together and fantasies. And then we broke up and I was so sad about it. And I was just getting snow cones with my friend one day. And I was like, I should just do something crazy and just get a big tattoo or something. And I had really been interested in watercolor tattoos. I just think they're so cool and unique and I don't really see them a lot, especially flower ones. And the way that I told the dude, the tattoo artist, to do this was so different than it came out. But I really love it. Like, I loved it when it was finished. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's so cool and unique. I don't really see colored tattoos, especially not like this. I was supposed to get a lavender flower. I think I was going to get a lavender flower because it represents like healing and new transitions and new beginnings and all of that. But I think that this is a poesy or a peonies, or I don't know what flower this is. If you know what flower this is, let me know. But I think I got like a different flower than the one I wanted. And then my next tattoos is this tattoo. It says Earthling on it. And this is one of my favorite tattoos. It's in my friend Emery's handwriting. She wrote this tattoo in her handwriting and I got it on my body, and I wrote a tattoo for her in my handwriting that says Ahimsa. Ahimsa is a word that means love and compassion to all living beings, and Earthling kind of is a similar word. We're all earthlings, and it's this idea of unity and compassion and treating other earthlings with kindness. There's also a documentary named Earthlings, which this is kind of inspired by. It kind of details what happens in different animal agriculture industries, like the egg industry, the dairy industry. And I think coming across that information for the first time was very eye-opening for me. And it did kind of bring me into this compassion where I was like, oh, we need to treat others with kindness in all facets and in all areas. So I think it was really life-changing for me. I'm really happy that it's on my body. And I also got this little moon sun thing on my ankle. I was moving a lot during this, so it's kind of a little shaky and not the best, but that's fine. I'm not a perfectionist with my tattoos. I really kind of like it when they're not perfect because it reminds me of a story or a moment, and it reminds me that life's not perfect. Shit. I think the next one I got is this tattoo, and this is inspired by art from a girl named Charmaine Olivia. She's in California. She has an Instagram page. I'll leave that linked down below. I think it's just really cool. I mean, I hadn't even come out at the time, but I have met somebody who's like, this is representative of the LGBTQ plus community, and it's like LGBTQ plus art. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's cool. I can get behind that and I'll accept that. But that wasn't my intention with it. But I think it's really cool. It's just this abstract face. My mom hates this one. She says it looks like spaghetti. Especially if I have a shirt that's like covering this, it just kind of looks like drooping spaghetti. But I really like that one. It's one of my favorites. Oh wait, my butterfly. I forgot about my butterfly. My butterfly I got in Encinitas, California. After my family's dog died, I wrote a song for him about butterflies. Like, that was a core lyric in the song, was about butterflies. I went out to where we buried him and I wrote this song for him. I played it with him on the ukulele. I cried at his grave. I just correlated that moment with butterflies because I had heard in the past that butterflies represent rebirth and dying and a loved one dying specifically. So I got this little butterfly tattoo when I was in Encinitas, California, and the artist is so amazing. The line work is so thin and beautiful, and I really love how it turned out. Oh wait, I'm forgetting tattoos, but okay, here's another one. It represents the third eye, which is the pineal gland. It's like the eye that's supposed to represent spirituality. So yeah, I got that representing the third eye. And then in Indonesia, I got this unalome symbol on my thumb. I got this pretty spontaneously, and I actually get a lot of my tattoos pretty spontaneously. I was at a hostel and it was a rainy day, so I wasn't really doing anything. I wasn't gonna drive the motorbikes to the beach. Like, I had no plans. I was just kind of cooped up playing board games at the hostel. Yeah, and then somebody basically just said, hey, they're doing tattoos at the hostel across the street. So I was like, okay, I'll go get one. And it was a little sketch in a way. Like, the needles were clean, like I saw them come out. It was sterilized, but he was like doing it on this carton, and I don't know, it was so funny. People got the craziest tattoos in that line. He was doing them for really cheap, and like one dude got his friend's name on his ass or something. I don't know. So the unalome symbol represents the path to enlightenment. And then this is the last tattoo I got in Indonesia. I got this in Ubud, Bali, at a tattoo shop called Karma House. And I had Bali belly the day that I got this, which is a traveler's sickness. It basically just gives you extreme diarrhea and vomiting, and it's just not fun. This was like a meditative tattoo where you meditate and they splash holy water on you, and it's very intentional. You set your intentions for the tattoo. The entire tattoo was nothing I designed. Like, we meditated and he just created something based on my energies and like the stories that I told him. Anyways, it was such a cool experience, but I literally threw up, I think 3 or 4 times in that tattoo shop. And every single time, and it was so awkward because it was like, I just felt so embarrassed. It was kind of a smaller tattoo shop, and then as I was meditating and doing a deep breath work, I just kept like having sweats and feeling like I was gonna throw up, and then running to the bathroom. And it hit me that day, like I had no clue that I was sick, and then it just got worse and worse. I spent the whole day at the tattoo shop getting this tattoo. Like, it was, I think, a 4-hour tattoo or something. Yeah, I threw up multiple times. The tattoo artist was so sweet and patient, and yeah, I almost threw up on the motorbike ride home too. It was really really bad. I actually forget exactly what these different things represent. I think he said this is the moon and that represents femininity. There's also the sun, like these are meant to be sun rays. This is meant to be a lotus flower, which represents rebirth. These are meant to be like planet, space, and time and stuff like that. And those are all my tattoos, and those are all the questions. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!